In another video, I was talking about how I see myself as this cyberpunk character, as this random guy that survives and walk in a dystopic world. It's interesting to think about that because when we see these scientific artistic creations such as science fiction movies, futuristic arts and all that, there is something that long ago was predicted, that was the connection between humans and devices as a direct consequence of the evolution of technology and the lack of responsibility and education towards those equipments. And at the same time, at the neurological level, those devices would inebriate the users in such a way they wouldn't have to deal with reality 24/7 all the time. The thing is that one of these days in the morning after my meditation, I found myself squatting with my cell phone in my hands, and I saw that image and I created this art. You know what I mean? To laugh at oneself is also a way to see oneself as a part of a larger structure. And in the world nowadays, we are completely connected to those devices, and especially the cell phone, in which we can work, we can express ourselves, we can spread the message and all that. But the device itself cannot be judged because it's just a tool, a mechanical tool, such as AI. You know what I mean? Because we created this technology, we developed the tools to facilitate our lives and all that, but we forgot to learn about ourselves first. And in dystopic worlds, that's the common law. That is the inequality of the system, the paradox of human civilization just grows as technology evolves. In that sense, we are dependent on those devices. Of course, there are people that are not connected to those devices or use it in a more healthy way, in a healthier way and all that. But the majority of the population, we are completely immersed in those technologies. And I say that through my experience. I didn't stop doing my things, my regular day stuff and all that, but the cell phone is a tool that I carry with me all the time, to take pictures, to record messages, to listen to music. And at the same time, we see in the human system, we call internet, the World Wide Web, we see two sides. We see people using it to spread a healthy message, a good message, knowledge and all that. And we have the other side, people using it to create bad messages, unethical messages, to spread terror, to spread lies, all that fake news reality we live today, which is now more and more common when we see how artificial intelligence can mislead us through images and videos so perfect that we cannot distinguish it from reality. It's difficult actually. But the thing is that we are at a moment that we can't go back. We are connected to those devices and we need them to survive. For example, when we lose temporarily access to internet or to energy, we find ourselves in a struggle because everything we do nowadays we need those two things. We need connection to the world wide web to find things, to work, to sell stuff, to buy stuff, to do whatever. And at the same time, we needed to other things like enjoy ourselves, relax, even meditate, you know, to communicate, of course. But as the days go by, we see it getting tougher, getting thicker. This connection, and that scares me, you know, because when I was born, there wasn't this situation. It didn't happen yet, but now, for example, the kids that are being born, they are already immersed in that technological system, and they did not have the experience of a lighter world, as I say, because back in the day when and there were no cell phones and all that, life was lighter, was softer, you know. We had struggles of all types and all that. It continues. We have problems and all that, but back then, the contemplation of life was easier. To do nothing, to stay still, to relax. You know, nowadays is more difficult, you know, because we have to do this and do that, use the phone to post things, to see that, to be informed, you know, by the news on the World Wide Web and all that. That makes me wonder, because when I see myself as one of those persons that are using it constantly, I find it hard already to let go, you know, of that technology, and that scares me. And I hope that we learn soon enough or in time how to use those technology in a healthier way, you know. But at the same time, being realistic, we don't see that happening very soon, and that's a problem, you know, because technology is just a tool, and at the same time it is a path you can use to elevate consciousness, to elevate mutual respect and mutual love. But unfortunately, what is getting more attention is the bad things, you know, is the hate, is the bad criticism, is prejudice, is fundamentalism and all that. For example, in some time ago in Nepal, the Generation Z, they destroyed the government because the government was so corrupt that the government, to blind the population from what was happening, they prohibited the use of TikTok in the nation. And that, my friends, created a reaction from the young people of the country, and they literally threw down the government. They destroyed it. And that was something to think about. Well, that is, internet has an enormous power to gather ourselves and to make change. So in this global world that we live nowadays, we can communicate faster, we can put ourselves together faster, we can come together faster, and that is something good to focus, you know, because when we focus on that, we see that this tool that we call World Wide Web or internet and all that can be one of the tools of our salvation. We just need to use it more responsibly, you know. After all, there's no control, it's just a flow. It's all a matter of consciousness. After all, everything his mandala.